When we create this financial space, let's just say an example, you decide you have cable or you have Netflix or you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, and cable and Apple TV and blah. I know a lot of people that have all those subscriptions. Not a whole lot of money if it's just one of them, but there are people that have like all four. And I'm starting to run into this more and more as a financial planner that it's just one of those really small things that's $14.99 a month that gets billed on your credit card. Or how many of you guys have ClickBank on your actual credit card bill every month? And you're like, I wonder what that $7 a month is for. And I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but gosh, it's been there every month. And yes, I have to call on it, but it's like $7 a month isn't enough to actually like go do it. Everybody, Julie Murphy here, and I am the money chick, and I always talk about the fact that we work things out or we act it out, and we do it through our money, through our health, and through our relationships. And this is why I have this whole awakening series, because of the fact that we don't realize how when we plug into the world, it shows up in various ways. So today, I'm going to discuss with you guys how to design your financial life in 3 easy steps. 3 things that you can do that will completely help you to be more of the designer of the financial life that you would like to create. Now, before we do, I want to remind you to hit that notification bell, because the fact that we need to stay in touch, because we have a lot of fiscal dysfunction and a lot of people not living lives that they absolutely love. So subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell, and then we can continue to collaborate and be team members to get you to a life that you love. So, all right, are you guys ready? Here's number 1, and how to design your financial life the way that you want. And it's going to be about creating space and finding opportunities. And some people might say, Julie, what do you mean create space and find opportunities? And what does that actually have to do anything with my money? Well, guess what? It actually has a lot to do with your money. Why does it have something to do with your money? Because I'm telling you, it's amazing to me how we have all these automatic bills that happen these days, right? Okay, so just like your paycheck gets automatically deposited in your checking account, we have an awful lot of things that are automatically just being charged to our credit cards. And do we want them anymore? Do we not want them anymore? So that's an example of a simple thing that you can create some space with in your financial world. Now, when we create this financial space, let's just say an example, you decide you have cable or you have Netflix or you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, and cable and Apple TV and blah. I know a lot of people that have all those subscriptions. Not a whole lot of money if it's just one of them, but there are people that have like all four. And I'm starting to run into this more and more as a financial planner, that it's just one of those really small things that's $14.99 a month that gets billed on your credit card. Or how many of you guys have ClickBank on your actual credit card bill every month? And you're like, I wonder what that $7 a month is for. And I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but gosh, it's been there every month. And yes, I have to call on it, but it's like $7 a month isn't enough to actually like go do it. But I'm telling you, if you start to add these things up, whether it's the cable bill, redesigning your cell phone bill, all those automatic payments, I can't tell you how many apps I have on my phone, right? That I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I still had that piano thing that my kids did 4 years ago, that I know they're all on to better and bigger things now. They're not playing that piano one that I was paying like $9.99 for the whole year. So these are the things that we can clean up. What's important as you start to find the opportunities to start to design your financial life, I need you to actually look at the fact that, guess what? You need to say, if I open up, let's just say it's $200 a month, we need to shift that money to exactly support and align with the life that you want to create. What do I mean by that? Okay, so that kind of leads me to number 2, but hold off on number 2 just yet, because there's another one that's not as simple when I'm saying create the opportunities. Let's dig a little deeper, because those examples are kind of surface orientated expenses and they seem pretty easy and obvious, but there are also some not so obvious expenses that we can actually start to uncover. And what do I mean by that? So, as an example, I was talking to a client the other day, and we were talking about the fact that she really wants to quit her job. And she's like, but I can't quit my job. I'm like, well, you're kind of in that in between world. You've built up some assets, but your assets aren't built up enough for the fact that you can actually pull the plug and stop working. Ah, but this is what you think, but that is not necessarily the truth, because life is all about your expenses. It's what you choose to go out the door. So when I'm saying create opportunities or create space and find those opportunities, it could be one of the things that we were brainstorming about is the fact that maybe she has about $400,000 of equity in her house. Now, you may not have 400,000, but you might have 150,000, or you might have something else. So this is an out of the box thing. I said, you've been talking about the fact that when you retire, and she's in her 40s, so she's not even close to the normal 65 retirement age. But we were talking about the fact that you have $400,000 of equity inside of your house. Well, you could cut down your expenses $1,800 a month minimum, because that doesn't even include the association fees that she's paying at that condo, because that could be even more than $1,800 a month. This was just the reduction in mortgage costs, because we said, just take your 400 grand and go buy something for $400,000. And now you don't have to have a mortgage any longer. You're your own bank. You've created some financial freedom for yourself. Talk about starting to create space. So let's get to number 2 in how to design your financial life the way you want it. Number 2 is, I need you to open up your energy. Men and women, open it up. Money is energy. We are energy. Everything is frequency and vibration. And the sooner we learn this, and if you don't believe me, just tap into the scientist Greg Braden. He's got all the research. His YouTube channel is for free. You can educate the hell out of yourself. And he has gotten all the science and all the backing. Everything in there is frequency and vibration. So this is why when it comes to our money, we have to open up our energy channels. Now, how do we do that? So this shows up from a financial perspective in the ways that, let's just say you're a people pleaser, as an example. If you're a people pleaser, then guess what? You, my friend, are what I would call a leaky container. And what do I mean by that? Meaning, you probably have some people in your life that you're financially leaking money out to, and it's not making it so that you're optimizing your own life. One of the things, and most people say, well, but I'm just trying to help other people out. And yes, it's okay to help other people out, but love yourself enough to not do it at your cost. Because remember, we live in a holographic universe. And again, if you don't believe me, Greg Braden's got all the research and all the quantum physicists on there on his YouTube channel to teach you this. It's the fact that if we are putting the energy out there that we would rather give things away more than we prefer to take care of ourselves, guess what you're going to get more of? Because in a holographic universe, which quantum physicists have already taught us, you are actually going to get more of that coming out. So how does leaking container show up in financial perspectives? Well, it shows up in the fact that perhaps I had one gentleman, he used to tell me like, well, my daughter's 27 years old and I just can't get the credit card back from her that I gave her when she went to college. I'm like, wait a minute, for 9 years straight, this girl's been like charging on your credit card? And he's like, well, yeah, it started with, I wanted to help her out when she's at school. And then, she's launched her career. He goes, but she's like a runaway train and I just can't say no. And she has way too many pairs of shoes. And we have to realize that when we are interfering, and yes, we are interfering with somebody else building their own financial muscles, we continue to allow the leaky container. So again, coming from a place of empowerment, and I would say to this dad going, okay, well, you could give her a bridge. You could help her build the muscle. Like her credit line, because you are so good at paying it off all the time, is now up to like $3,000. And sometimes she gets close to this number. You just call the credit card company up and you say, you know what, I'm going to lower that to $2,000. And then tell her in a year you're going to lower it to $2,000. And then the year after that, we're going to actually close the account. Because this is where you are putting healthy boundaries in for her to build her own financial muscles. The third step that you need to do to really, truly design a life, particularly a financial life that you love, is that you have to hold healthy boundaries. Now, not easy to do when we've got kids and jobs and we see our patterns of being a financial leaky container to other people. Remember, that leaky container can also show up in the fact that you're paying interest on your credit cards to a bank. You are not in a place of empowerment if you are carrying credit card balances month after month because your leaky container is the extra interest that you are paying out the door. Nobody likes to pay that extra interest out the door. Who likes that? I don't like that. Do you like that? But most of us are not even conscious of the amount that we're actually doing because we'd rather kind of be like an ostrich and stick our head in the sand. But this too is not holding healthy boundaries for yourself. So, how do we start to plug some of these holes and hold some of these boundaries? Well, you could go to creditcards.com and you can click on balance transfers and find one of those credit cards. There's always credit cards out there from Chase, Discover to all these different credit card companies that will do 0% for 18 to 24 months. There's the opportunity to do that out there. The key is start to get a handle on it and put your past on autopilot, meaning making those debt payments, so that you can then focus more on creating the future that you desire. So holding healthy boundaries is just about go to that place of nervousness and that place like that almost makes you want to throw up and just say no. And I'm telling you, the minute you get past the fear, because healthy boundaries are, to me, I've seen so many times, you just have a fear that somebody maybe doesn't want to be around you if you're not paying that bill or if you're not, taking them out to dinner or doing things for them or helping their kids out. Whatever that thing is, it's about the fact that it's time for you to show up in the world for you. And that it's time for you to show up in the world for a number one in the most self-loving and self-caring way possible. So again, don't forget to hit the like button, that notification bell, and subscribe because I am here to get you to an absolute life that you absolutely love. The question is, are you ready for it? Because I'm ready to take you there. So let's go. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.